Alrighty, folks. Thanks for joining me for the launch workshop. As I alluded to, the point of the launch workshop is really just to give you an understanding of the fundamentals of our business. DuePoint has got a lot of moving parts. You can often get lost in areas that you don't need to get lost in. And so the point of this workshop is just to get you focused in what you need to focus on in your first few weeks here at DuePoint so that you can start earning as quickly as possible, right? That's what we're here to do fundamentally. So let's stick to the fundamentals of how to earn at DuePoint. So we're going to go through just a couple of things. Like I said, it shouldn't be too long depending on how many questions you want to ask me. You're very welcome to stop me and ask me questions along the way. The three things we're going to cover is understanding how to earn. We've got a couple of rules around how we pay and who we pay and how much we're paying. We're going to go through those. They're very brief. They're not complicated. But that's very important to understand. Understanding the phone app. If you haven't already downloaded the DuePoint app, do that. There's free Wi-Fi available on DuePoint Guest. The password's DuePoint Guest, no spaces, all lowercase. So we'll go through the phone app. You can do it while I'm explaining the various aspects of the app. And then finally, just understanding slow versus fast. This is really to address expectation. Managing expectation is a very important part of this business because people come in with all these expectations, right? And if we don't meet those expectations, or if those expectations are unrealistic, then they're going to be feeling disappointed afterwards. And we don't want people to feel disappointed. So we want to manage expectations with regards to how much money you can earn, how quickly you can earn it. All right, how to earn. So there are a couple of rules that we look at. This is a slide that you would have noticed from the intro presentation, right? This basically just tells you how much money you earn on the various points in your business, right? Any questions around this slide? No questions, right? So we all know when you start connecting people, they land on your first point. You always build your first point. Those people that you connected go out and build your second point. Your second point builds your third point, so on and so forth, right? And then you get paid according to that in what we call your qualified channel, right? So you'll always hear me talk about a qualified channel, right? That tells you that, well, what is a qualified channel as opposed to just a normal channel? And that's what we're going to get on shortly. All right, so there are three qualifying rules that we ask before we pay anyone at DuePoint. Number one is, have you paid for your product, right? If you fail to pay for your product in the given month, then you're not an active wealth engineer, right? And so that should be always your greatest priorities, to make sure that your product is paid, right? If your debit order bounces or you've given us wrong account details and it doesn't go through and we've SMS'd you to tell you that it didn't go through and you still don't fix it, you're not an active wealth engineer that month. You're not going to earn. It doesn't matter what your channel looks like. We stop right there. Right? And so that's your number one priority. Make sure your product is paid. And then we ask the question, are you a qualified wealth engineer? Only qualified wealth engineers earn here at DuePoint, right? What is a qualified wealth engineer? It is someone who has got 3 product paying people on their first point, right? So in that little diagram, you've got 3 friends that you've connected to DuePoint. They've all paid for their product successfully, and that makes you a qualified wealth engineer. A qualified wealth engineer is someone who's got at least 3 product-paying people on their first point, right? And that's why I said to you in the intro presentation, I said your first goal is to find those 3 people. Find the 3 people so that you can start earning money here at DuePoint, right? And so only qualified wealth engineers earn, and it goes without saying is that the minimum we pay at DuePoint is 165 Rand. It's 55 Rand for each person that you're earning on. We don't pay for one person. If you've got one person, if you've got 2 people, you don't get paid. No one earns 55 Rand or 110 Rand at DuePoint. The starting point at DuePoint is 165. It's 3 people, right? And so it should be your goal to get those 3 people as quickly as possible, okay? Then we ask, and the third final question, we ask, how big is your qualified channel, right? Because we want to know how much we're going to pay you based on how big your channel is. So when your channel starts to grow, so in this example, we've got this person has gone out and found their own 3 people. That's great. That's good duplication, right? They went out and found 3 people, but we're not paying you for those 3. If you didn't know the qualifying rules, you would assume that you're getting paid 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55. You would assume you'd earn 330 Rand at the end of the month. But your qualified channel is actually only that so far. Why? Because the third rule, the third question that we ask, We ask, how many qualified wealth engineers do you have on your first point? Because that tells us how many points we will pay you on. If you've got 3 qualified wealth engineers on your first point, we will pay you up to 3 points. If you've got 100 qualified wealth engineers on your first point, we will pay you up to 100 points. And in this case, you've only got 1 qualified wealth engineer. And so we only pay you on 1 point, not on 2. How do I earn this money here? How do I get 2 points in my qualified channel? You make sure that you get another qualified wealth engineer. Because we pay for every point that you have a qualified wealth engineer. If you want to earn on 2 points, you need 2 qualified wealth engineers. So you go to one of these people and you say, when are you going to get qualified? You're here to earn, right? Go find your 3 people, start earning. Look, the one person listened to you. They went out, they found 3 people. Now you see this ring is lit up because you've got 2 qualified wealth engineers. And if you've got 2 qualified wealth engineers, we pay you on 2 points. Right? So now you're earning the 55 Rand times 9 there. You're earning all the money that you can earn in your qualified channel. But now your channel keeps growing, right, to your 3rd point. But your 3rd point is not included in your qualified channel. Why? Because how many qualified wealth engineers do you need to earn on 3 points? 3. And so you go to that 3rd person and you say, when are you going to find your 3 people? I can help you. Do you need any help? They go out, they find their 3 people, they become qualified. Now you've got 3 qualified wealth engineers, which means we pay you on 3 points. And then your channel will grow more and you'll have a 4th point growing. How do you earn on your 4th point? You go find another wealth engineer, get them qualified. Now you've got 4 qualified wealth engineers. Now you're earning on 4 points, right? And so this lesson kind of distills what the fundamentals are in our business. There's only 2 things you need to do as a wealth engineer. Only 2. We can end the workshop right now. You never have to come to training ever again. You don't have to watch any of the videos. If you just do 2 things. 1, grow your first point. So go connect people to DuePoint. And the second thing is, get them qualified. That's all you have to do. Everything else will take care of itself. If you get those 2 things right, you don't have to do anything else. You don't need to know anything else. Your channel will grow. Your channel will grow and you will keep up with the growth because for every wealth engineer you put in, you support them so that they become qualified themselves. Right? And that's the only 2 things that you have to know about DuePoint. Now you can go home. All right. So those are our 3 qualifying rules. Make sure you pay your product, become qualified yourself, and qualify the people on your first point. Support the people that come in so that they get qualified themselves. You must know these rules and you must tell these rules to people that you connect to DuePoint. Why? Because if someone thinks they're earning more than what we actually pay them at the end of the month, you're going to be in trouble with them. They're going to be very unhappy. They're going to say, this is a scam. DuePoint didn't pay me. I connected 2 people, they didn't pay me. Then you go, oh, I forgot to tell you, they only pay when you start at 3. Oh, right. And they tell everyone else in your channel too. DuePoint doesn't pay, right? It is one of the first things you're going to tell anyone that joins your business. Get qualified. Why? Because DuePoint only pays when you're qualified. What's qualified? You need 3 people. They have to pay in the same month. You can't get 2 this month or 3 this month. 2 put their debit orders for this month and 1 puts their debit order for next month. That means you only got 2 this month. You're not going to get paid. The payments have to happen in the same month, right? Our business works on payments month to month. And so when I say qualified, I'm always talking about qualified in that month. All right. Any questions? No questions. Everyone understands this? We're all going to forget this. That's why we made a little 5-minute video on our YouTube channel, right? On your mobile app, there's a video that says, how do I qualify? Go watch that video 10 times until you can explain it nicely to the people that come into your channel. Ma'am. Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't have anybody as
Yeah.
in this month.
Yeah.
How does that work?
So you join today, you find 3 people this month. You've set your debit order for this month. Those 3 people that you found set their debit orders for this month.
They have to set it within the same month as myself.
Well, they don't have to. They've got the choice. But if they set their debit orders all in this month, and you pay and they pay all successfully, you will get paid 165 Rand. If one of them fails to pay, you're not going to get paid. If one of them sets their debit order for next month, you're not going to get paid. But then next month, when all three do pay, then you'll get paid.
Sorry, I do have another question.
Yeah.
My question is, I've heard of, I've been with all these Ponzi schemes, and you're going to make money, and I'm going to
Yeah.
make money.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the only person making the money is you.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I know
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
but that is how it has happened.
Yeah, sure. No, there have been many of them. Many of them are closed down. Many of them, yeah.
I've been one of them that has been bought by a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
You think you're going to make money.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think I'm through.
Yeah.
So what happens then?
What happens then? What do you want me to say? Wait and see?
I want you to be frank. I want you to be honest.
We've been honest the whole time. If you look around, do we look like a Ponzi scheme? We're a business that's invested 20 million Rand into this business. We aren't making money yet. We're in this in the long term.
Yes, I understand that.
It's not a smash and grab. A Ponzi scheme is designed like this, right? They give you the same presentation. They tell you all the wonderful things that you want to hear. How easy it is, how much money you're going to make, right? They tell you there's a starter cost. You've got to put down, you've got to buy product, 1,000 Rand a product, 2,500 Rand a product. Oh, it's priced in dollars. Oh, this month it's 3,000 Rand in product you've got to buy. Or you've got to buy Bitcoin. Invest 25,000 Rand in Bitcoin. That's what they tell you, right? They load it up front. We don't load anything up front. Ponzi scheme for 249 Rand. There's no Ponzi scheme for 249 Rand. Ponzi schemes, they take your money at the beginning because they're not going to be around for long, right? 6 months to a year, they're out. They've got to take as much as they can. They don't have offices. They're not listed on the stock exchange. They aren't regulated by any regulator. Go look at any Ponzi scheme. Go see if they were members of the Direct Marketing Association or the Direct Sales Association. Those are the things that you have to become aware of, right? Because when you go out and connect people, people are going to be skeptical because there have been many people that have been victims of these scams and schemes. And so how do you discern one or the other, right? And so we've got a video. Our chairman, Dr. Benfield, who started Clientele Life, he has a wonderful video where he explains how to tell the difference between a legitimate business and one that's illegitimate. He calls it the sniff test. Right? Go watch that video because that'll help you tell other people. Other people and say, oh, it's a scam. You say, no, it's not a scam. Go look at them. They registered with the Direct Marketing Association, the Direct Selling Association. They're listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange. They're regulated by the Financial Services Conduct Authority. They've been around for 70 years. Ponzi schemes are not around for that long. Right? We have to be discerning because if you can't tell the difference, how are you going to explain to someone who's asking the same question? All right.
So you say that you've been here around for 70 years.
Yeah.
And for 70 years, you haven't made profit in that 70 years.
No. DuePoint, the division. Constantia's been around for a very long time. DuePoint as a division, we've invested a lot of money into this business to get it up and running. Right? And so in the 3 years, when you talk about business entrepreneurship, you don't make money in your first 5 years if you're starting a big business. Right? Because you put a lot of costs down. Ponzi schemes don't put costs down. They run thin. They run off the internet. They don't have offices. Right? You can't find anyone. You can't find the address. Okay, we have to be discerning. We've got to be able to tell the difference and see the signals between a business that we can trust and one we can't trust. Okay. So those are the qualifying rules. Make sure you know them. There's the video. Go watch the videos. We're going to talk about where the videos are shortly. Debit order dates, very important. Like I said, we run month to month. If your debit order goes off in a month, it is for that particular month. It doesn't matter whether you pay it on the 1st or the last. And so we are, what are we, around the 20th of July. And so if people are joining today, anyone who joins DuePoint gets asked the question, when do you want your first debit order to go off? And when do you want your regular debit order to go off? So let's say they decide, no, I want to make money in July. So I want my debit order to go off in July. Put it at the end of July. Put it at the 31st of July. But my regular debit order must be at the beginning of the month. We're going to debit you on the 31st of July and the 1st of August. Don't phone client service and complain. How can you debit order me twice in a week? Because one's for July, one's for August, right? One keeps you active for July, one gives you insurance or investment or discounts or whatever product you've chosen for July. The next one is for August. And so if you pay on the 15th of January, it's for January. If you pay on the 31st of January, it's still for January. And if your next payment is the day later on the 1st of February, that is for February. All right, so be aware of that because everyone's got the choice. First debit order, recurring debit order. The problem comes at the end of the month. People say, no, put my debit order at the end of the month and then again at the beginning of the month. They're going to get debited very close together. Okay, but they're for separate months. XP Rewards program, let's go through this quickly. So this is the table that shows you what you need for your XP Rewards. I usually leave this out. As a brand new person, you don't have to worry about the XP Rewards program yet, right? Not in your first month. Don't worry about XP. You're going to earn XP whether you like it or not. Right? So don't get too worried about the requirements and how do you get XP and all these things. But I'm going to go through them. You need two things to rank up in the XP Rewards program. So if you want to get to rank 9 over here, the 200,000 Rand vacation to Mauritius, right? It requires you to have 416,000 XP and you need 1,000 products in your qualified channel. Products in your qualified channel. Right? So you need those two things. You need XP and you need a qualified channel of a certain size to get to any rank. Sir?
So it doesn't matter if you have like, let's say you have 50 qualified wealth engineers and then they get you, let's say, to 1,000.
Yeah.
So you could, is that applicable to the rank 9?
So when we look at the requirements, what is going on there? Operating temperature. Someone just blow on that fan there. See, it is getting warm in here. So we always talk about qualified channel size, right? So qualified channel, let me just turn that one off. Qualified channel size is those rules that we just spoke about. Qualified size. So you could, let's say in your unqualified channel, just your general channel, you had 10,000 people. 10,000 products in your channel. But you only, on your first point, none of your first pointers were qualified. Right? None of them were qualified. They all only had 1 or 2, and then those people on the second point, that's where everyone was flourishing. But on your first point, it looked horrible. You had like 3 or 4 people, none of them were qualified. You would only be earning like $400, even though you had 10,000 products in your channel. Because your qualified channel is tiny because you don't have any qualified wealth engineers on your first point. You need qualified wealth engineers on your first point to open up your channel. And so when we talk about a qualified channel, we're applying all those rules, right? And so you always have to keep up. When you get to rank 9, you will see you are constantly trying to get your first pointers qualified to keep up with the size of your channel that's building. We made that rule to mitigate laziness, the people that get lucky. Right? You get the people that, I'm going to join this business, I'm going to get lucky. I just need to find one person that goes out and shoots the lights out and finds 10,000 people for me and I can just sit back and do nothing. No. If you want to enjoy the benefits, and we've got lots of people. We've got people earning next to nothing because they do nothing, but they've got massive channels underneath them. Right? Like Patrick and Pumi. They must have tens of thousands of people in their channel already. They've got a person above them. They've got someone who introduced them to the business that earns nothing because Patrick and Pumi is their only wealth engineer. But they're sitting on a channel that's got 10,000 people in it. Right? So that's the rule. I don't want you to get too distracted by the XP Rewards program. How do you earn XP? You get XP for everything. For opening up your app, you get XP every single day, right? So there, check. There's 25 ways to earn XP. Check your app daily. Register a prospect. Watch an intro presentation. Watch training. Show the intro to a prospect. Get qualified. Take your photo, your profile photo, right? There's lots of ways to earn XP. It's all on your phone. If you click on your phone, there's a rewards button at the bottom. You click on rewards, you'll see all of this listed for you with explanations. Lots of XP to be earned. Everything from 25 XP to 1 million XP. All right? XP is not going to be your problem in your first, second, third, even your fourth month. Don't worry about the XP rewards program so much. It'll happen on its own. If you're building and your channel's growing, that's what you worry about. You worry about connecting people and getting them qualified. DuePoint app, open up your apps. So you're welcome to look at your app while we go through this. You'll be met with daily notices. So this is just messages from head office. These are reminders. These are quick links. These are things that you can share to other people. If you want to invite them to an intro, you can hit the share button on a lot of the aspects here. If you want to kill them notices, there's a little X there. You can just kill that. Hit the back button. Will take you to the home page. On the home page, you will see your name in the top left corner. If you click on your name, right, we're going to earn 1,000 XP right now in our seats. Click on your name, and you'll see a profile page comes up like that. And then next to the is DuePoint guest, no spaces, all lowercase. And then you'll see there's a little camera icon next to that shape of a head. Click on the camera icon and take a selfie quickly. Don't worry, you can redo another one when you do your makeup later. But do one now. Take a quick selfie of yourself. That'll give you 1,000 XP. Right here, right now. Right? Nice, quick, and easy. So this is your profile page. It tells you your returns. It tells you your qualified channel size, how much XP you have, your BPQ. It's got lots of information on here. Guys, don't be scared to play around in the apps. You're not going to set off a 10,000 Rand debit order by accident. Click on all the buttons. Explore. Look at everything available in the app, right? Don't be shy. If you click on Connect at the bottom, you'll see you've got the tabs at the bottom. The second last one's called Connect. If you click on Connect, you'll have two buttons at the top. The one is Prospect, the other one's New Applications. If you got somebody who wants to become a wealth engineer, you just hit that New Application button. It brings up the application form. Let them fill it out on your phone. Boom, they're a wealth engineer. Right? We all know application takes 5 minutes. Yes?
New prospects, obviously they completely new, but you know you've got two buttons which says interested or not interested. That's all. What I've just signed somebody up. He hasn't actually made up his mind yet whether he wants to actually be part of this DuePoint.
But you've signed him up as a prospect or you signed up as a wealth engineer?
Obviously as a prospect.
Yeah.
As a prospect. But you only got two little buttons there to say interested, not interested.
What else would you want?
What can I say? No, is he interested? I don't know if he's interested.
Okay. Well, look, the prospecting manager is a tool that allows you to keep track of prospects, right? So if the person doesn't want you to contact them, you put not interested. If you're still going to pursue them as a prospect, you keep it as interested, right? There are other fields that will help you manage those prospects that are interested. So if it's this person, you say, he's interested, but he's not sure yet. He hasn't made a decision. There's a tab that says additional notes, and there's another one that says needs. In additional notes, you say, I've spoken to him already. He's still undecided. I'll give him a call, and then you make a note in your book that says, I'll call him in a month's time. Okay. New application button, and then if you click on the prospect button, it takes you to the prospect manager. The prospect manager, like we've been discussing now, allows you to track prospects and add new prospects. This is like a phone book. It's a contact manager. It's a CRM. It allows you to track all the prospects. We've got people putting in 50 to 100 prospects a day on this app. It allows them to keep track of it. Who's interested, who's not interested, what their needs are, how you met them, where you found them, right? You can do all of that. So you can see here are all the prospects I've captured. You get XP every time you register a prospect. 300 XP every single time. So play around with the prospects. If you click on any of the prospects, this is what the prospects page looks like, right? It's got their name, whether they're interested or not, contact details, family details, work details. These are important. Notes and needs. Don't leave them blank, right? Any good CRM has to have information that separates all these people from each other. And what separates everyone from each other? Their needs. Their needs is the most important thing that you want to be able to identify. Because if you can't identify someone's need, how are you going to help them? Or are you patronizing enough just to tell everybody the same story? You need DuePoint. 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 Come, 30 minutes, all of you. You all need DuePoint. Come look. That's not the way to prospect, right? If you've ever been in sales, you know sales is about asking questions. How's your month been? What's going on? Where were you working again? How's the family? All right. Oh, you missed the payment on the car last month. I now know his need. He missed the payment on his car last month. Now I can say to him, I can introduce you to a business that earns you 1,000, 5,000. If you want 5,000 Rand this month, I can show you a business that can do it in 1 month. Oh, that will help me. Right? Ask questions. Fill out this box that says needs so that you can address people's needs personally. You can't go to every person and give them the same pitch. It doesn't work. People already know, there's the DuePoint. He's trying to push DuePoint down my throat. Right? You don't even have to talk about DuePoint. You don't even have to say the name. You don't care about the name. He's caring about not losing his car. He needs money. I'll show you how to make money. Come sit down for 30 minutes. All right. So that's the prospect manager. There's a little button in the bottom right of the button. That's a shortcut button that opens up a whole menu. You can take a photo of the prospect. You can add them as a favorite. You can show them the intro presentation. You can phone them. You can edit their details. Okay? So play around. The app's simple, I think. Play around, explore, use the app to your advantage. It'll earn you XP while you go through it. If you click on tools, so this is where all our training sits, all the development seminars, all the knowledge sits under tools. It's the last tab at the bottom right, and it'll come up with all the videos that we have. So that is a drop-down menu that allows you to filter the videos. So you can change it to all, to shorts, to... There's a whole bunch of menu options there. Right? Go through all those videos. You will find the video, how to qualify. You might find Dr. Benfield's explanation of how to sniff out a Ponzi scheme. Right? It's there. Dr. Benfield dealing with 10 most common objections. Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Well, you clearly don't know what a pyramid scheme is. Let me educate you. Right? So go watch those videos. You get XP for all of them. There's a little watch button at the bottom. It'll probably open up your YouTube app. Go watch the videos properly. Watch them properly. Like a rule for me is I don't like taking notes when I go for training. If I do any training or I read a book, I don't take notes. But I take one note at the end of it. At the end of it, I decide what is the one thing I've learned that I want to implement. So for me, that's a rule. So I go, okay, I'll watch this training. It's great. Lots of different points, good points they made. But I'm going to take away one thing. Don't watch a thing and not take away anything. Don't think, oh, I'll remember it. Write down the one thing you want to implement from the training and go check it out. See if it works, see if it changes, see if it benefits you. Right? Let the training help you. It has to change you to help you. All right, where are we? Quests. Okay, so if you click on rewards at the bottom, it's the middle tab, rewards. That's where all the quests are listed that allow you to earn XP. Right? So if you scroll through it, there's 25 different XP quests, but the top two are the big incentives. So it's the 365 challenge, the 1.5 million Rand challenge, and the Achiever quest is the monthly 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 quests. Click on the little arrows there, read the explanation, read the terms and conditions. Don't come ask me terms and conditions. Go read it. That's why we put it there. So read it, understand it. The people that join will ask you, what are the T's and C's? Let them understand how to earn that 5,000 or the 10,000 or the 15,000. So that's available on the app. There's a list. So from the login daily, those are all the XP quests that earn you XP. I'm not going to go through these. When you start doing them, you'll see they start filling up. So if you check your app there, you see it's 1 out of 20. When you get to 20, you get bonus 500 XP. You get to star 1. Then star 2 is more units of login daily, and if you reach star 2, there's more bonus XP. So that goes up to 1 million XP, some of them, right? Explanations are all there. I'm going to go through that quickly. All right. Where to find the products on your app? In the top left corner, you've got the menu button. It's those 3 lines. We call it a hamburger menu in the design world. It's called a hamburger menu. If you click on that, the menu will pop out. Preferences, account details, not bank account details. We only verify those over phone. But you'll see your products are listed there. So if you ever want your product documents, or you want to know the balance in your investment, you just click on menu, click on Access Wealth, or click on whatever product you have. You'll see all the documentation is there for you. All right? So that's where you find that. That's what it looks like. Easy peasy. That's the home page, right? The home page, when you start out, you're not going to be seeing big numbers like that, right? You're going to try to get 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are successful. The blue number is good. Successful debits. So when you go out, let's say this weekend, you go tell 10 people about DuePoint, and they all join. They fill out the application on your phone, and you're going to get this number at the bottom here. It's going to say new wealth engineers. You're going to have 10 there, right? They're all going to set their debit orders throughout the month. They're going to pick different dates. Everyone picks different dates for debit orders. And then as those debit orders are paid successfully, you'll see the number goes from pending, it'll be 10. And then every time one's paid, it'll go 9 and 1 will be successful. Then 8, 2 will be successful, right? So you want the pending debits to become successful debits. But some of them, they'll fail. The debits will bounce, some of them. Some of the bank account details are wrong. And then that number goes to the red number, failed debits. We don't like to see failed debits, but it's part of business. It's part of business. Don't let it get you down. It's part of business. If I had to get depressed every time I saw a failed debit, I wouldn't be here today, right? We accept it as part of business. When you need to start getting worried, you need to start getting worried when more than 25% of your business is failing debit orders. That's when you start getting worried. Because that means 25% of the time that you spent on DuePoint has been a waste of time. We've got some people that have 100% failed debit orders. Right? They go out and I don't know who they're connecting or how they're doing it, but they will put in 20 people in a month. All 20 will fail. Right? If you've got 75% and up, you're sitting in the normal range. Right? We've got some wealth engineers, very big channels, sit at 90% and up. That's great business. If your BPQ, that's the BPQ there, business performance quotient. If it's sitting at around 90%, you are in the top 5% of our business, right? In terms of quality of business. So that's what your homepage looks like. That just tells you what's happening in your business. If you click on the drop down, you can select point 1. It's the same view, but it's only looking at your first point. So go look at what your first point's doing. It'll show you all the names of the people that you've connected, whether they've paid successfully, whether they qualified or not, right? You want to see all those people getting qualified. So that all sits under point 1. And then if you click on the events tab at the bottom, it brings up our calendar of events. Go marry your diary with our calendar of events. Right? We run a very regular schedule. So you know, every Tuesday and Thursday, we've got presentations here at head office at 6:30 in the evening. Every Wednesday and Friday, we've got lunchtime presentations. And every Saturday morning, we've got a presentation. So we're running 5 live presentations a week that get streamed over YouTube live to the entire country. So just know that, right? Go check out the schedule. Just understand what's happening. We do training once a month. At the end of every month, we've got training. We've got Tell-All Tuesday, which is that special intro presentation where we invite wealth engineers to come give testimony, tell their story of DuePoint. That happens every month. Go look at the calendar and become aware of the regular scheduling. And then you can click watch if you want to watch. If you're sitting at home, you don't have to come to head office. Sitting at home, you can watch it there. You can have guests at home. You do it however you need to do it, whatever's convenient for you. Slow versus fast. Yes. Sorry, ma'am.
In the event of a policy being lapsed,
Mm.
do you get penalized for that? Theoretically, because at the time that you signed up,
Yeah.
right, and that guy became a wealth engineer, and then suddenly his policy lapses, what happens then?
So if someone fails their debit order,
Yeah,
or if they cancel their product,
yeah,
or if they get lapsed, which means we cancel it for you because you never pay, in those 3 instances, just means that you're not going to earn. In terms of being penalized, if it means it's your 3rd wealth engineer, if you've only got 3 and the one cancels, that means you're no longer qualified. So that could mean that you don't earn 165 Rand anymore. It might mean that you lose a qualified wealth engineer and you lose a whole point in your business. So let's say you got 10 points, and on your 10th point, you're earning, let's say, 1,000 Rand, right? And then you've got one qualified wealth engineer who doesn't pay for their product. If you lose a qualified wealth engineer, you lose a point. So your whole 10th point becomes unqualified. And so you lose that 1,000 Rand.
Yeah, you see.
Right? So it might affect you in terms of what it means from a qualification point of view, but we don't penalize you for that. All right? So understand the qualifying rules. That's very important. 365 challenge. This is the big one, 1.5 million Rand in value. Does anyone have questions about where is that money? How do you... Anyone want to do 365? Anyone too intimidated by 365? Think, oh no, that sounds like way too much work. My time's very important to me. 1.5 million Rand. I don't need that this year. We launched the incentive at the beginning of the year, but for any new wealth engineer, it runs for 12 months from when you become a brand new wealth engineer. And so you've got 12 months to do this. You can do all 365 in your first month. It's not impossible. It's an admin nightmare, but it's not impossible. Right? You can average it at one a day. If I had to do this, I think I would sit down and just build a plan around how I was going to manage it. Right? You don't have to prospect every month. You could do it in tranches. You could say, okay, I'm going to prospect 60 people in this month, support them for a month. 60 in the next month, support them for a month. To try and do it all together, maybe that's hard for you. So if you want to do this, plan it for yourself and stick to the plan. Learn from the plan. If you're failing at the plan, adjust the plan. Learn from the plan. See where you're succeeding. See where you're failing. Right? Attack it like business. This is business. This is business. Attack it like business, not a hobby. Right? So massive value in this. But you've got to connect one person a day. Right? We have some wealth engineers that do 30 in a month. So it's not impossible. We know it's not impossible. But it's worthwhile because it's going to make you a millionaire in a year if you're willing to do it. Achieve a quest. This is awesome, right? Not only from your perspective, but from the perspective of prospecting. If I can go to someone and say, listen, you can earn $5,000 in your first month at DuePoint, or 16,500 in your first month at DuePoint. You can do it if you want to. That's a great message to give people. Often, businesses like ours, the legitimate ones, it takes time to build up, but we've created this incentive so that people have this opportunity to make money quickly in the business. And so that's very attractive to people, right? So from a prospecting point of view, it's very powerful to tell people about the Achieve a Quest here at DuePoint. Any questions around Achieve a Quest? No? Alrighty. So what to do? A reminder. Connect people to DuePoint. You're connecting them to DuePoint. You are not trying to convince people to join DuePoint. You're just connecting them to this. Let Rob, let Brendan do all the work for you. We'll do all the work for you. Just get people to come sit down or on the live stream, sit at home with you or wherever you are, wherever the Wi-Fi is, watch. 30 minutes, just watch. Right? They will decide quickly whether they're in or not. Right? You don't have to talk and talk and talk and talk. Don't talk to people. You just ask them, are you in? Are you ready to sign up? It's a simple question. They'll say, yeah, or they'll say, no. And then you say, why not? Oh, no, it looks like a dodgy company. And you go, no, it's not a dodgy company. Let me tell you why it's not a dodgy company. Then they go, oh, right. You ready to join now? No. I need, right? That's how you do it. Assume they want to join the moment that video ends. All right. Never talk product, ever. You're talking opportunity. You talk opportunity. That's what people want to hear. It's the number one commodity in South Africa today is opportunity. Right? That's what you're connecting people to. You're not connecting them to our insurance and investment products. That's my job. Always talk about wealth creation. Use the tools. Right? Show the tools off. Ponzi schemes don't have mobile apps. They don't have 2 websites. They don't have offices. They don't have live streaming capabilities. They don't have podcasts. They don't have YouTube platforms. Right? Show people the tools that we have. Use our tools. Right? Get started now. Don't wait. This is something that I've realized over time. I'm one of these people, I don't like getting excited. If someone starts getting me excited and trying to sell me something, I'm like, I need to start stepping back. Yeah. Right? Even at church, the pastor starts getting me too excited. I'm like, he needs to slow down a little bit. If we want change in our lives, we only make change happen when we're in what's called a peak state. You know what a peak state is? It's an excited state. If I come to a presentation, I get excited. Someone like me will go, I don't want to make a decision now. Let me wait until I'm not excited to make a decision. What am I going to decide when I'm not excited? Right? Move when you're excited. Push people when they're excited. Don't sit and go, okay, no, you take the week to think about it. Go talk to your husband. Go talk to your wife. Think about it. When they're excited, you push them to move. People only change. Change only happens in one's life when we're in a peak state. Right? It's proven. It's a psychological principle that they talk about. If you stay in your comfort zone, if you stay in that state of, I'm relaxed, this is the routine that I go through day in, day out, I never get out of that routine. If I want to change my circumstance in my life, I've got to do it when I'm excited. I've got to run across the hot coals when I'm excited. Not when I need to think about this. Right? And so it becomes a principle of connecting people. Push them when they're excited. Try to get them to take that step of faith. Why can you do that? Because they're joining a company where there's no risk and that it's a reputable business. Right? If it was a Ponzi scheme, they would be pushing you anyway, right? Join the business. No, they're 100%. But you get to sleep at night because you know you're pushing them into a business that can change their lives in the long term. All right. Plug into DuePoint. So use all the tools. We've spoken about that. Become an expert at the app. Watch all the training properly. Watch it numerous times. Marry DuePoint's calendar into your own. Get the merchandise. I spoke about this in the intro presentation. 20% off. So these cards are now about 500 Rand for business cards. So take advantage of that. Get business cards immediately. The shirts are great. Those are brand new. So we've just brought the shirts in the last week. Right? And just stock up with some merchandise so that you look like you're part of DuePoint. If you step in there and you're in your civvies, you don't have business cards and you're telling someone about this wonderful business you represent, you look like you're just someone taking a chance. Right? But if I sit down and I've got business cards and I've got a notepad and a pen or something and I'm wearing a shirt, you look like you represent the brand and you're proud of it and you invested into it. All right? Otherwise, you're just some person off the street. Don't look like a person off the street. Look like you are part of the business. Get the merchandise. And then a reminder of all these platforms. So we do stuff on Facebook constantly. Also good for prospecting. Just showing people constantly. People won't join the first time they see something on Facebook about DuePoint. They're not going to go, oh, that looks great, let me join. But you plant the seed. Then they see someone getting a car. Then they see people in Mauritius. Then they see these fancy business cards. And they start thinking, what is this DuePoint thing? A year later, they see something else. 2 years later, they phone you and say, what is this DuePoint thing? Okay, I think I'm going to join it. Right? It's not going to happen initially. So get stuck into these social media platforms and don't rush it. Just enjoy it. Be part of it. It is a social community, right? You'll plant the seeds. I'm telling you now, go speak to some of our wealth engineers. They've been doing it for years. They plant the seed. Only years later, those people come and say, what's that thing? And they join only years later, right? You've got to start planting that seed now. Merchandise, you just click on the store button on our website. I hope you all got the app downloaded. Any questions? We're done. Any questions, guys? No? You're all going to go talk to someone today about DuePoint? You're all going to get qualified this month? You're all going to earn money this month? That's what we're here for, right? Yep. Don't let me phone you on Monday morning you haven't spoken to anyone. I do surprise calls. I do them. And I pretend I'm not Rob.
I just want to share something. I followed Pumi for 3 years.
You followed Pumi on Facebook for 3 years. See, she was hooking you. You didn't even know.
No, because she was sharing in one of the schemes that I lost money.
Exactly. That's what she does, right?
And yeah, so I followed her for 3 years.
And then you joined. No, she's very clever. She's very clever. So she goes on to all these groups. Because you go onto Facebook, everyone's selling something. And she just hops onto those groups. And she'll look at a couple of people. She'll look at the people that seem to be the performers. And then she'll just send them a friend request. She won't say anything to them. Friend request. And then they think, ooh, here's someone I can get in my business. They think they're hunting for Pumi. Pumi's hunting for them. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Pumi wins every time. She wins every time. Why? Because DuePoint's the best business opportunity in the country. There's no one better than us. No one. You're in the right place. You just got to move now. Good luck, guys. Go do it.